Welcome to Couch Talk. Today we have a very special guest who works her magic helping women find their inner goddess.
My name is Marina Love. I am a holistic health coach who is passionate about empowering people. And I am a raw chocolatier extraordinaire.
Marina, you brought us some props today.
I did, absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit about this book you have in front of us?
Well, this book is my spell casting book. I hope you don't mind if I raise it up to the camera. Oh. And you see all my spells, they come flying out of my book. Essentially, I am one who is very connected to magic in life, and I'm all about revealing the miracles and magic that exist around us all the time, just as a natural state. And so this book is where I pour all of my ideas into, and it also helps to keep me grounded and keep me on track and keep me focused. And I also refer to it as my creation journal, because through the act of writing, we spell out things. And it's also the same act of casting a spell on our desires.
Through writing?
Through writing. Okay. And it's because of the energy that's involved in that practice. When you're putting your pen down to write, you're not only just writing, you're thinking about it, and you're actually materializing, creating it onto a canvas as an artist would a piece of artwork.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so there are emotions and energy going into it.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what about these bracelets? They also have a little something special.
Absolutely. Well, these bracelets were crafted by my sister. Her name is Jazzy Jules. And each bracelet is a semi-precious stone, which has been charged with a lot of loving intention. And crystals naturally carry a lot of healing, vibratory expansiveness, if I will. So these are actually, I wear them because not only do they grant me protection from different energies entering me, because I'm an extrasensory and I pick up on all the energies that are happening all the time, including people's thoughts. So I have to have some form of grounding on me, and her bracelets are what allow me to have that ability. And so here I have jade. I have two different types of jade in their raw format. I have coral from the waters.
These are gorgeous.
And this one here is actually, it's charged with a lot of love, although it is just a Swarovski crystal. And I believe that because it's so beautiful, it captivates a lot of energy of beauty. And so that's how I translate these bracelets.
Now, did you always feel so connected to the mystical world? Was this, from childhood, or when did it start?
Well, I come from a family of gypsies.
Gypsies, okay.
And so this has been really deeply embedded in my DNA to be connected to Earth, be connected to the cosmos. And so I actually didn't realize that this was part of my path, because you could be raised in a certain culture and not really follow through with it. And for me, it's like if I didn't listen to the taps that I was going to be a medicine woman, I got the 2x4. And that's exactly what happened in my life. So I started really developing my abilities around the age of 12. Just through observance, and the art of observance is really like tuning into other people and their emotions and what they're projecting in terms of their energy. And as a result of doing this practice, I was able to open different mental compartments within myself that allowed me to really hone in, harness, and develop further abilities within myself. So my mother had all of her children, on a full moon. So we're very connected.
Was that intentional, or?
No, it's just the way that things were for her, because she was very synced with the moon. And women are ruled by blood, which is actually the moon. It translates into the moon in a lot of mysticism. And so if a woman is really in sync with her basic nature, then she will menstruate with the moon and she will give birth on the full moon.
Oh, wow.
And so that was what my story was with my mother.
And this is such a special field, I can say. How do you deal with skepticism from people? I'm assuming you come across that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's not a day that goes by that I don't deal with a skeptic. Let's just get honest here. People don't believe in magic when really they should be just paying attention to it, because it can actually be the guidance system of their whole entire life if they focus on it.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because on a metaphysical level, I'm also a crazy scientist, biohacker. So whatever you focus on expands. And so if you're focusing on the magic in your life, what are you going to get? More magic. Right. If you focus on pain in your life, what are you going to get? More pain. And so magic to me is a really big deal in society. And people just, they don't believe in it anymore. And it's because they've been enslaved in a system that has nothing to do with their basic nature as a human being. When you look at the root of where we came from, we're tribal people who believed in the cycles and rhythms of the earth. And that natural law is magic. You look at nature outside, there's nothing but abundance. The trees are constantly producing. Right. There's constant movement. The birds are constantly moving around and orchestrating all kinds of beauty within the skies. Right. And so when people are skeptical towards me, I just honor where they're at. Simply and truly, I don't try and force them into believing me, because everyone has their different unique path. So I just accept them and I move forward.
And what you describe as magic, a big part of it is recognizing nature, it seems. That's what I'm getting from it. It's recognizing what's around you and understanding the power of nature.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a lot of people walking on this earth today that are still following these principles. And if I had to give you examples, it would be the Aboriginal people and the indigenous people. I've spent a lot of time in Central and South America observing these types of people, and they're all about magic. And the rest of the world thinks that they're poor and they're sad and they're starving and they're suffering and whatever else, but it's not even true. These people are living in these dimensions of complete mind-blowing mysticism and magic, where they completely orchestrate everything in their reality. Right. And they're living in harmony with nature. And to me, that is the most beautiful thing that you could ever have in one's life.
Well, you speak about living with these people, and I know you've lived in other places and you've traveled a lot. How do you compare it to Montreal and the Montrealers?
Hey, Montreal is a city full of magic. This is a city with endless potentials and possibilities. This is a city where you can come to and travel to different regions of, and you will never feel like you're in the same city. Right. You know, you'll go to
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah, like you'll go to the plateau and you'll feel like you're just in this boggling art blow up of craziness. You'll go to the oratory and you'll feel that sacredness. You'll go to another district, maybe St. Catherine, and you'll feel the aliveness that almost reminds you of New York City. Right. It's like it has many cities in one. And 5 years ago, in 2009, I was just guided here. I was in a relationship that wasn't serving me anymore. I was living a very materialistic life as a model, and I was very depressed and very sick. And I had this notion one day that I needed to be here because I had traveled here before and I remembered the energy that it had contained. Really? And I was like, I am coming back to this place because it's got something powerful. Where were you? The last destination I was in was Calgary, Alberta, in the Rocky Mountains. Okay. Yeah.
And so you felt this calling to come here?
Yeah, and I had no idea why. But I just trusted, because I've had this very deep connection with my intuition all my life that's actually made me fly by the seat of my pants since I was a very young girl. But I've always trusted, and what I realized was a famous quote. I forget who said it, but it's like, when you jump into the abyss, you realize that you're landing on a feather bed.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Who says that?
I would love to find out. I'll have to reference that later on.
I want to steal it.
Yeah, you can steal it. Tia and Cindy Charles.
Yes.
You know? So that's the thing. Like, we have to start trusting our intuition. And as women, that's what we're more powerful with. Some of the most incredible people who have dived into the depths of the mysteries of the earth have been women. And I'm not a feminist, because we all are androgynous, which means that we carry male capacity and female capacity. Although we've been brought into this reality with the female capacity or the male capacity, we still possess both qualities. And so I just think it's so important to have a divine, empowered feminine rising within this world. It could just create so much and really relinquish and heal. Yeah.
Well, speaking of healing, you mentioned briefly that, you know, when you were a model and in a previous relationship, about your level of happiness, and there was a change that called you to move here. I mean, what happened? What happened that made you so unhappy and to decide to make this change in your life?
Well, it was an accumulation of pain that I wasn't dealing with. I had a lot of scars from childhood, from being maliciously bullied and abused by women in my life. and I just never dealt with it. And so I was carrying that through forward into every relationship, and it was manifesting itself all over the place. I mean, whatever you hold inside of you is how you teach people how to treat you.
Right.
So if you're holding in this pain, then people are going to treat you that, because we're like magnets. We're magnets towards whatever is within us. So if we're holding on to all kinds of pain, that's exactly what we're going to get.
Okay.
Whatever you focus on expands, right? So I had all this pain inside of my body. I was in a relationship that was really bad. I mean, it was just all material. I was literally just arm candy. I wasn't worth anything to him. And that's because I was projecting that. I felt like I was unworthy. And that's what the modeling industry can do to a lot of women.
Okay.
Because you're just an object. You go there, they throw clothes on you, you're boom, 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 you're done. You're nothing. They don't care about who you are. And so it made me very sick. And I just realized, like, I had to do something about it because I wasn't on purpose anymore.
Okay.
And so the tools that I cultivated in that time are actually what allowed me to launch Goddesspreneur Academy in the fall.
Okay. Okay, good. I want to know all about this because I have heard nothing similar to it in Montreal. And I thought, this is really interesting. And I tried reading about it, but I still wasn't clear on what it is.
I will explain to you why that is. And that's because I use alchemy.
Okay.
And alchemy is the art of transmuting metal into gold. And so no woman is the same. No woman requires the same medicine. But what we do require at our core is heart medicine. And so what Goddesspreneur Academy is, I said God, because God and Goddess, I work with men too.
Okay.
Essentially is it's an opportunity.
Goddesspreneur.
Goddesspreneur.
Okay.
Exactly, because when you are in your goddess, you're in control of every aspect of your life.
Right.
And I'll tell you why that is. Because I take people down an alchemical journey of raising vibration. As a gypsy woman, I know the importance of the vibration within the spirit. And so what happens is if you start raising their vibration, they become more magnetic towards what it is that they want.
Okay.
And so I take them through a journey. I'll give you a basic structure. Usually when we start out, we work with foods because food was a big part of my journey. I mean, I had eating disorders for over 10 years. And so I had studied nutrition from the age of 17 to try and heal myself. And I studied from some of the most amazing, incredible people in the whole entire industry. And I learned some really mind-blowing stuff.
Right.
And so nutrition is the first step that we take because there's an ancient scripture from the Vedic Upanishads that states the subtle energy of food becomes your mind.
Okay.
And I feel like without the mind being in order, there's nothing else you can do. There's nothing you could tell someone that they would actually apply if their mind is not in the right place.
Right.
So I work with some very ancient and exotic ingredients. I call them superfoods because these are foods that possess qualities beyond the average fruits and vegetables. Like we're not talking carrots and celery here. We're talking like goji berries, aloe vera, cacao, schizandra, goji. Again, I just love goji so much. Shatavari. Like these are just like woo-woo words to a lot of people.
Right.
They hear that and they're like, whoa, what kind of magic is that? Well, it is magic because what it does is it raises your vibration. It detoxifies the body. It allows your skin to plump it up and your body to trim down. And it really allows you to fully be in your mind in a more clear way.
Right.
So that's the first step.
First step is nutrition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. As a holistic nutritionist, that is the first step we take because I wear many hats. So this is the first place we go.
Right.
The next direction we go is self-love because once the mind is right, then we can start doing the inner work. So we go in the direction of self-love. There's a lot of healing that we use in this direction. I use healing from different sectors of mysticism. So there'll be crystal healing involved. There'll be sound healing involved. There'll be affirmation work. There'll be casting spells. There will be all kinds of self-development in that area.
Right.
And then the next area we work on is actually starting to redefine your gifts.
Okay.
And this can look different for every person. I really can't give an equation as to what that looks like because for every woman it's different.
Right.
However, if I had to give you an example, I had a client who wanted to be a model. She wanted to be a plus-size model. She just really wanted that in her life. She was working an office job, and so I took her through the journey. We got her nutrition on par, we got her self-love on par, and then we really started diving into her desires.
Right.
And we got her all magnetic. Now she just, actually yesterday, speaking of synchronicity, she just shot for Swimco as a plus-size model.
That's amazing.
And this is the type of magnetism, magic we're dealing with here at Goddesspreneur Academy.
Okay, it sounds a bit like almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. At that point, you've prepared them to feel good within their body, within their self, their personality, and love themselves. And then the visualization, the positive thinking makes it come to reality.
Absolutely. It's about the body magnetic. And what I can say is that when you bring the body, mind, and spirit into balance, and you surrender the war that's inside of your head, that tells you that you are not good enough. You can actually redefine and rediscover what living as goddess means. And mysticism has so much, and well, not just mysticism, but mythology, sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. Mythology has so much to teach us about psychology. When you look at the mythological equation of goddess, think about these women. They were banishing people and killing off people, but raising them back to life, and they were creating things out of the blue, you know, and that's what it's all about. We can create anything. And one of my favorite teachers actually is Bruce Lee, God rest his soul, because he said that to heck with circumstance, I'm about creating opportunities. And that's really the space that I hold for these women, because it doesn't have to do with the individual. As within, so without. This is a famous gypsy term. As within, so without. And so by you being empowered, by you walking your mission, you inspire many others to do the same.
Definitely.
And ultimately, what I'm trying to achieve with Goddesspreneur Academy is I just want to see heaven on earth.
Right.
I just want to see people more in balance with themselves and with each other.
And inspire each other.
Exactly. That's the way it should be.
Right.
We should be in this holy flow where rapid synchronicities and incredible manifestations are just a part of life.
Right.
Instead of pain and suffering.
Well, on those wonderful words of wisdom, thank you so much for coming on the couch and sharing this information. And I definitely want to try out the Goddess Academy myself.
Yes.
I think it would be really interesting. I haven't heard nothing like it before. So thank you for sharing this information with us.
Thank you so much, Cindy. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be sitting here on your couch.
On my couch. Well, the pleasure's all mine. And thank you to you guys for joining us for another episode of Couch Talk. And we will see you soon.
Wish to see you, wish to see you, many all the colors. Wish to see you, wish to see you, many all the colors.